Sherry Alcock. I'm a certified fundraising executive and I have 16 years of experience, and we are Good Works Now. About a month ago, Jack Grayson made a $100 contribution to the school for homeless children. He could have made a $1 million contribution, but the people at the school didn't really know Jack, and they didn't know that he's a multimillionaire. Good Works Now levels the playing field for small and mid-sized charities, 600,000 strong, that don't have access to the tools that the larger institutions do. Because when you know more, you can raise more. But much of the market is currently priced out. So Good Works offers an affordable suite of tools for planning, project management, and donor analytics. The Good Works RevenueRaiser shows you the map to success to meet your goals, and the Good Works Now Donor Discovery shows you where the treasure is buried in your donor base. We have a live demo up currently at RevenueRaiser.com that will demonstrate the planning and project management tools. On Saturday morning, our team really had an epiphany. We realized that much of the information that donors would want to know about much of the information fundraisers would want to know about their donors is available in the public domain. But it's not readily available in a format that's very usable. Good Works Donor Discovery aggregates the data and synthesizes it into a comprehensive profile of each individual's giving patterns. So now we can know what their preferences are and what their giving patterns are. Most donor databases track contributions over time and allow fundraisers to see what their own constituents' history of giving is. But what they can't see is what their donors are doing in the bigger community and how much they're giving to other organizations. Jack was a loyal donor to the school for years and years and years. He gave about $100 a year. Imagine if the school had known that Jack was giving $1 million to the homeless shelter down the street. They might have been able to build a relationship with him and get that new school built that they so badly need. Our solution allows us to capture the data and to provide access at a much lower cost than our competitors because we have a different model. We conducted surveys with 30 different nonprofit professionals. We did face-to-face interviews with 5 nonprofit representatives, and we had 3 professional fundraisers that were represented on our team this weekend as we worked through this business model. We are offering a subscription-based service with a premium upgrade. Our customers have agreed to our $240 a year price point. And our goal is to capture 0.5% of our target market of 600,000 charities in the first 18 months.
1 minute.
Going forward, we'd like to assemble a management team to plan for user support, to crystallize our revenue strategy, and to refine our demo and understand how our users are experiencing it. Jack Grayson, that is not his real name, but he is a real person. I've met him. And for $240 a year, wouldn't you want to know who your Jack Grayson is? We are Good Works Now. Know more, raise more.
Have you thought about things from the donor level? Like if I knew you were aggregating this information already, I would probably agree to fill out some stuff there so that I got approached by charities that matched my profile. Is there any of that yet? What are you thinking about that?
That's an excellent question, and I'd love to pursue that.
What's the question?
I'm sorry. The question is, have we thought about donors and how they would like to be matched with charities of their choice? And we have not thought through that process, but it's a great opportunity.
So how are you finding and aggregating the information about the donor?
I'm going to let Paul take that question.
It's our intention and our hypothesis that we can effectively use Amazon's Mechanical Turk to both pull down all the PDF annual reports and analyze them. So if you're not familiar, Mechanical Turk is a service in Amazon where you can specify a task that a human performs. So you can say, perform this task and go to this foundation's website and collect all their annual reports. A separate task is go to this annual report and pull out all the people who are listed as funding this organization in these different funding categories.
So the assumption is that you can do that, but is your entire business model based on the ability to do that?
No.
Our business model is based on doing it differently than our competitors, which do it very expensively. They buy data and then they resell it. So we're looking to use a different kind of technology to procure it at a less expensive cost. The other thing is that we're not getting all the data on donors, like assets and all of the things that big institutions that specialize in planned giving would want to know. We're looking for charitable patterns. And charities do have a double-edged sword where they need to give recognition to their donors, and they print their donor names unless donors ask otherwise. And then that becomes information out in the public domain.
One additional comment there. We did look at the structure of a lot of the annual reports that are published, and there is a lot of loose structure, and we feel like we can automate a part of the task, and that the human intervention represents a small part of it.
So I think your price point's too low. I mean, $240 a year. I've been on the board of nonprofits, and I know they're very cost conscious. But for what the value you can bring to them, I think that's too low. I guess I don't know if you guys have seen. There's a site called Jigsaw, which is now owned by Salesforce, and their business model is interesting. I can go on and buy lead lists, but I can get credits if I contribute information. So if I load my CRM data into there, all my contact information, then I get credits towards getting information. So I don't know if you might look at doing a business model, something like that, where it will help you build your database by letting, sort of crowdsourcing your data.
Yes, there seems to be a split in our customer base about values around sharing data at this point. So we didn't pursue that deeply. Our price point does seem low, and we tested that $19.95 a month price point with our customers in surveys, and that's what came up.
So related to that price point question, since you have some fundraising background in your team, do you have a back of the envelope TAM for us, the total available market for
We base our total available market on the number of charities that are registered with the IRS, which numbers 800,000 roughly. And we believe that our target market is the market that's not being served, which is 80% of the charities with budgets of 500,000 or less. And so that's how we came up with the roughly 600,000.
So you're going to have to be careful there, because there's a lot of organizations registered as charities that don't fundraise, that are, for whatever, set up as a nonprofit, so that could really skew your numbers. So I'd be careful and look into that a little deeper.
Okay.
Did you guys do some research on Twitter over the weekend?
Repeat the question.
Did we do research on Twitter?
Were you tweeting about this at all over the weekend?
We did send out some tweets, yes. We set up our Facebook page.
To a few nonprofits and charities?
I spent the week sending out messages on LinkedIn also.
Okay.
I would add that
I saw it.
we had a fundraiser in the room with us for a part of the time, and I also had a fundraiser Skyped in for the early session where we were doing concepting and validation. So we had a lot of customer input.
Okay, that's time. Good
Thank
job,
you.
guys.